Arcs are the 7th animation principle listed in the timeless animation textbook, The Illusion of Life Disney Animation. An arc is an invisible line that your animation follows around the screen to live within the space. They determine how your animation flows and whether or not your motion has any janks or pops. The human eye is attracted to arcs because, unlike straight lines, they are natural. Figure 8s have been proven to be the most attractive arc to the human eye, though any partial variation of a figure 8 is equally as effective. The reason for this is because the arc is already so ingrained in our minds through nature that we can predict where the arc will end up. When the audience understands ahead of time through instinct where the arc is going to go, they no longer have to focus on the what or the where an action is going to end up, so they can instead focus on and appreciate the how that was crafted by the animator. By deviating out of an arc, the audience will start wondering what is happening, which will pull them out of the experience. If the goal is to captivate the audience, pulling them out of the experience is the last thing we want to do. If any single part of the body deviates from the motion's arc, it will feel jarring and wrong unless it was given a secondary arc. Sometimes the body can be given more than one arc at the same time that complement one another, but because they flow naturally, they won't detract from the experience. This is because adding arcs is adding realism. The longer you spend crafting your arcs, the more natural the end result will feel. Human joints naturally rotate in arcs. Same with the dips and raises of our walks. No matter what we exaggerate or push just that little bit more to the cartoony side, they should always be connected to an arc. This even applies to squash and stretch. Even if the body has already moved past a position in an arc, squash and stretch should still bend around the arc it came from. If your movements operate on stiff or rigid arcs, they will show things like pain and command attention. Even if pain isn't what you were going for, the audience will be asking themselves if pain exists, which detracts from what you're trying to convey.
Our heritage and ideals, our code and standards, the things we live by and teach our children, are preserved or diminished by how freely we exchange ideas and feelings.
So what does this mean for your everyday workflow? Always take the time to track your arcs, especially when using inverse kinematics or IK in 3D. These rig setups move linearly and take some extra finesse to look natural. Tracking your arcs can sometimes be a lengthy and tedious task, but it's a necessary one. If the viewer is paying more attention to the path your animation is moving in rather than being captivated by the experience, something isn't right and needs to be investigated. Arcs are a principle that may make more sense over time, but should never be forgotten about. Every animator from student to veteran needs to consciously be thinking about their arcs throughout the entire animation process to ensure their work is fluid, fun to watch, and the best version a shot can be.